Hi everyone, thanks for joining us here today at Book Blather. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Olive, and we mostly talk about books, but sometimes some other things to help spread the joy of reading and have a little fun while we're doing it. So today we are doing our very, very late version of the Paxy Awards Tag. So this is an award show that was done at the end of the year around the holidays by Pax Panic. I'm sure many of you know who Pax Panic is, but if you don't, she was a booktuber that we lost to cancer in 2023. She was a wonderful booktuber, a caring friend, and somebody that Olive and I still think about all the time. And so Criminali did this wonderful thing of keeping Pax's award show alive. One of the many kind things that Pax did was she did this, what she called the Paxy Awards, around the holidays, where she shouted out a bunch of other booktubers and gave out awards for a number of different categories. And Criminali, bless his heart, kept it alive by turning it into this tag and basically doing the same thing, and invited others to do it as well. So I want to thank Ollie for doing that. That's really awesome. So we're really late with it here, but, who cares, right? It's never too late to shout out and call attention to fellow booktubers for the wonderful things that they do. So around the holidays, Pax always wore, she had this special crocheted Santa hat that she always wore. It's one of my favorite looks of hers. So that's why we're wearing the green Santa hat. It's not as good as her hat was, but it's the best we could do. So we're gonna give this a shot. We've had this respiratory laryngitis thing that's been kicking the crap out of me. And we did the last video a couple days ago, and that was, our voice did not hold up, but I think it'll be okay. So we're gonna try it again. So let's get on with the awards. I'm gonna hold this over here, Olive, because I don't want to cover the mic. Okay? You want to do some of these? Or you want me to do them all? Okay. Well, I'll start, and then if you decide you want to do some, you let me know. So the first one was Best Opening. So for this, we give this award to Jolene over at Bookworm Adventure Girl. Jolene is a booktuber, also an author, and she has this awesome intro where it's hard. Go to her channel. Everybody will be linked below, of course. Just go to her channel and check it out. We think she does this really cool introductory scene that we actually asked her to send us her template so that we could do something similar, which we still haven't done, like so many other things. But great little intro. I've never seen anything like it. I think it's really, really nice little cinematic thing. Okay, the next one is Creative Paxy, right? Very creative booktuber. And for this, hands down, this is Jess over at Bad as Rad 2. She is so creative. I think there's a lot of creative booktubers, but I can't think of anyone more creative than her in her videos. She puts so much effort into her outfits, to her scenes, and just does some really, really pretty cool skits while she's talking about books, or sometimes reading books. Okay, next is Tag Extraordinaire. I couldn't remember if this was like someone that does the most tags, or who came up with like the best tag in 2023. I think it's probably the latter, but we were just gonna do who we see doing the most tags. And for this, we wanted to mention Crystal at Fiber Artsy. Crystal we could have mentioned for a couple of these things, including like the Sweetest Paxy tag, but because she's very, very kind and does a lot of sweet things, like just send people stuff just the same way Pax used to do. But we picked her for this one. We picked her for the Tag Extraordinaire because I think we see her do a lot of tags. I think she doesn't pass up any tags. She does them all. She loves doing them, and we like watching them. So that's Crystal Fiber Artsy. All right, the next one is If You Like Me Then. So this is supposed to be if you like us, then you would probably like this other channel. And for this, we are going to say Gareth over at Books, Songs, and Other Magic. And the reason we say that is Gareth's channel is a little bit better than ours, but we like a lot of the same things in books, but also in some other things, TV shows, etc., which is part of why we have actually recently started a new show together, right, with Gareth, called Is This Thing On, that we do fortnightly on Thursdays, every other Thursday. We just started that this year in 2024. And when we started that show, it works because we are interested in a lot of the same things. But when we started that show, somebody actually said, "Oh, I'm glad you guys are doing this show together because I keep confusing your two channels." So I think that's probably the greatest evidence of all, that if you like us, you're probably going to like Gareth's channel, Book Songs and Other Magic. Okay, the next one is Series Extraordinaire. This was another one, not even a question. Probably everybody would have the same answer for this, and this is MJ over at Reading This Life. MJ has for a long time. He's done different versions of it, but it's basically supports small booktube, but it's also booktube support group, and basically she has done this show for a very, very long time in different incarnations, where she really calls out a lot of small booktubers to help give them that initial bump that you really need so badly in the beginning, but also just to provide a lot of support to everybody, people like me that need like tech support. So we actually joke, we call MJ our tech support, because whenever we have a question about something, some not well-known thing, or how to do with some detail with a streaming thing or whatever, we're always pestering MJ for the answers. So, and she's always happy to help. Okay, so the funniest Paxy. So these next two awards, the funniest Paxy and the best couple, there was actually, our answers for these could have been flip-flopped. These two were both vying for the best couple, but also the funniest. So we just did it this way, but we could have swapped them. So for the funniest Paxy, we did That Dude Reads. And we've mentioned this channel before. They're very undersubscribed, and you should definitely go check them out. They are the funniest couple. That channel is That Dude, and his partner is That Dude's mom. And so That Dude is always like, he's the face in front of the camera, and That Dude's mom is always running the camera and talking from behind the camera. And they're just the way they bounce off each other and their chemistry. It is very rare that I watch one of their videos and don't laugh. And I don't, not always even interested in all the same books that they are, but I love watching them, because I never, just when I think I'm going to get through a video without cracking up, then I crack up. So you should definitely check them out. And then for best couple, who also could have been funniest, is Joe and Mary over at BookBuds. And we've known Joe and Mary for a while, and we watch a video of each other's here and there, but we just started watching them a little bit more recently, because they are very, very funny. They're great friends, and they review these books together, but they always do all these little skits. And we just did, somebody else mentioned it, and we went and watched it, their Fourth Wing skit. is pretty funny, but they do a lot of skits. They just did this one they just did in the anyway. Go watch them. They're very funny, and they're very good, and they clearly have so much fun while they're doing these. Okay, the YA award. So for this, we thought we would give this one to Dia over at Novel Idea. Now Dia is like a regular buddy reader of ours, and we actually, we have some similar interests. A lot of our interests don't overlap in books, but, we're good buddy readers, and Dia reads a lot. And the reason we would give her this award is because Dia reads all different levels. Like, Dia will read really big, sophisticated chunkers, but she will also read not just YA, but also middle grade, and she reads all age levels of stuff. And I think it's really neat that she's able to actually just appreciate books from all these different age groups. So anyway, we would give that to Dia. So best pets. So this, you see a lot of booktubers that, have their dog on, or that have their cats as co-stars, but you don't often see ferrets. And so for this, we're going to give this award to Chris over at Chris Reviews. And where you may from time to time see a ferret jumping in, getting some screen time, often helping with unboxings, getting very involved. So we're going to give that to Chris Reviews. Okay, so the Sweetest Paxy. Of course, we could have given this to a couple different people, but one of the first ones that comes to mind is Fred over at Read by Fred. Fred is just like the nicest guy. I mean, he's always been the nicest guy. Now that his channel's a little bit bigger, he really makes a lot of effort to call out smaller booktubers and help give people bumps, just calling them out, trying to get them over hurdles by mentioning them. He's very good about that. Sorry, the voice I'm doing better than last time, but still in a little trouble with the vocal cords here. But so Fred is, like I said, always calling out other people and trying to help give them boosts. And Fred also is always jumping on other people's live streams to help the live streams be a success. He's very, very good about that, devoting a lot of his time to hopping onto those things. So we would definitely give that to Fred. Fred is definitely one of the sweetest booktubers out there. The Down to Earth Paxy. So for this, we are going to give this award to, a lot of our friends here on BookTube are down to earth, but we're going to give this one to Emily over at Dark Violet Dreams. And Emily is just, down to earth is one of those things that sometimes it's hard to explain, right? It's really just a feeling about somebody. It's somebody that they're just honest and open, and that's the way Emily is. She's just, she's great with the books, but she's just honest and open in terms of her feelings about books and about her just about her life, and if she's going through some challenges or she's just very, very down-to-earth person, and we've just always considered Emily a down-to-earth friend on BookTube. The next is Best Voice. This is one of those ones, there was absolutely no question. Didn't even have to think about this. This is Jim over at Mystery and Mayhem. Go over to his channel. If you don't know Jim, go over to his channel, listen to one of his videos, and in the first 30 seconds, you will understand why. This guy, Jim, has like the sexiest male voice you've ever heard. He should be doing radio, really. He should be doing radio. He's got a great, great voice. Background Paxy. So for this, we are going to mention Debs over at Rainer Reads Stuff. And Deb has, totally unique. I've never seen this before. Deb records from the book shed, and she's got this shed. It's a book shed, and this is a shed where she's got all these books in there, and she films in there, and it's like I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like that before. And it's neat. It's like I don't know what you call it, rustic or natural sort of shed, and she like some of us first came to know Debs back in August, during Garb August, because she got really into Garb August, and Debs had she staked herself out there. She had all the charts up on the wall and everything, and it was just a really cool setting. So you should go check it out if you haven't been to Rainer Reads Stuff before. So the next one is Makes You Think Paxy. This is somebody that really makes you think. And actually, I had to think about this for a little while, and so a lot of booktubers are good about giving their thoughts on books and exploring them a little more deeply. But I was thinking about this for a little bit. Who, over the couple years that we have been on BookTube, has really, really made us think, really, really intellectual in terms of their approach to literature? And so who we came up with, we realized for this, is AP over at A Critical Dragon. So AP he's an editor, primarily developmental editor, that specializes in fantasy and sci-fi. A very, very nice guy. But if you go over and check out his channel, you'll find out that a lot of his videos, they're not your usual videos. And he'll really be explaining different topics or talking about different topics in literature to some depth. I was fortunate enough actually to be on a live stream with AP one time over at Steve's channel, Steve Talks Books, and it was a good experience. He was a really super nice guy, but very, very insightful, and very, very deep thinker when it comes to literature. It really makes you think about stuff sometimes. Okay, next one is New Kids. We're almost there. New Kids on the Block. This is somebody that's popped up in the last year that you've enjoyed watching, and so for this, we're going to say Jeff over at Wordfully Yours. So Jeff is Jeff is also an author. But he's a new booktuber that came on the scene in 2023, and we really enjoy watching Jeff. Most of his videos are relatively short. You know, he keeps them short, but he's pretty funny when he's talking about this stuff, and he DNFs a lot because he's just like brutally honest about things, and so when he enjoys them, he's honest about it. If he didn't enjoy him, he's honest about it, and he's always a pleasure to watch. So definitely go check him out. He definitely needs more subscribers. All right, the Blowin Up Paxy. This, of course, is the one who created this new tag, Ollie, over at Criminale. So, Criminale, basically, you couldn't see it happen to a nicer guy, right? So, Criminale, I remember when Criminale first popped up on the scene, and he left a comment on one or two videos, and he had like 40 subscribers at the time, and he since blew past all of us, and he's now past 30,000 subscribers, and for good reason. He posts all the time, and he's very knowledgeable. He's very enjoyable to watch. But the great thing about Ollie is he also, even though he's become a big booktuber now, he never let it go to his head. And he's just one of the... we also could put him for the Sweetest Paxy tag. So very, very kind. Still takes time to watch everybody's videos and leave them comments, be very inclusive. Ollie was the founder of Garb August, the reading event in August. And this past year, I can't even tell you how many people he invited to co-host, because he tries to just include everybody and support everybody. And I think, really kind of become a leader in our little corner, what I call our little corner of BookTube. And I'm sure Ollie doesn't think of himself that way, but I think a lot of us think of him that way. And so he has blown up, and for good reason, and we could not be happier about it. Okay, so Sprinter Extraordinaire. And for this, we are going to mention Margaret Pinard. So she has a channel, but she is an author. We were actually co-authors, along with Jolene from Bookworm Adventure Girl. We were co-authors in this book. We wrote a short story for the Stygian collection. But Margaret is a much more serious author. She has read a bunch of books, and she's very she's of the intellectual type, and she's cool to listen to. But we listed here for Sprinter Extraordinaire because she actually doesn't do a lot of videos. She does almost everything live streams. So she's always doing live streams. Okay, our phone actually ran out of space, so it stopped recording there for a minute. So I think I left off talking about Margaret. So Margaret does pretty much all live streams, and she has this like crazy ability to, if you're doing a live stream, all of a sudden Margaret pops up. She's like constantly popping up on all these other live streams. But so she does a lot of live streams, a lot of sprints, productivity sprints and everything. So so she definitely gets that award. So Best in Poetry, this definitely goes to Nemiria over at The Secret of Nim. So Nemiria, she writes poetry, and she's published because of Pax, actually. She's friends with Pax. And because of Pax, she actually then started publishing her poetry. So she's published two poetry books so far, and she reads a lot of poetry on her channel. So that award has to go to Nim. And then the last one is the Pax Panic Award, basically the best booktube channel. Hey, you paying attention, man? So the best booktube channel. And so we just have to say at this point, of course, that there are a lot of great channels out there. We have a lot of friends with channels that we enjoy watching. And, we limited it to all these awards today, including this one, to one person, so it doesn't go on for forever. But if we did mention you today, that doesn't mean we don't love watching your channel, of course. So, but for us, this is a clear answer for the Pax Panic Award, and this is Michael K. Vaughan. So Michael K. Vaughan has been our favorite channel for very long. He was our favorite channel 2.5 years ago. Still our favorite channel today. Usually, like anybody, we don't catch every one of his videos, but we catch most of them. And we even, like in the warmer weather when we go for our morning walks, right? We listen to Michael on our walks. Michael has a great channel. It's always worth watching. We always learn something. He always makes us laugh, usually when he's yelling at Roger. But it's always a good time watching his channel. Michael has definitely changed our BookTube experience and reading experience. We've read a number of things now that we never would have read if it wasn't for Michael. And Michael even sent us a starter kit for something. And it's been great watching his contribution, I think, to, this corner of BookTube has been significant, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. And so we very much enjoy his channel, and we have to give that award to him. So that does it. That's the end of our 2023 Paxy Awards. Hope we did it justice, Pax. Miss you, girl. And so thanks, Ollie, for keeping this thing alive. And we will see you. Thanks so much for watching, as always. But we will see you very soon. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.